Hey guys, well, it is a really nice day out. Definitely feels like spring today. It's really warm out here, and I don't know what the temperature is outside. Maybe if I get on my phone. Y'all are not going to really see my phone really well. Yeah, y'all can't really see. It's not 59 degrees. If I can hit the update button. There we go. I'll give it time for it to update here. Yeah, there's what it is. It's 82 degrees. Yeah, this has been the warmest day so far. And then by Sunday, it's supposed to rain and it's supposed to get below freezing again. So definitely got to try to enjoy this nice warm weather as much as possible. So today I thought I'd do a video on how to repair a Briggs & Stratton Pulsa Prime carburetor, which are very simple to repair, even though it's already all off and everything. Usually just to take it off, you just remove the 5 screws, and then the carburetor comes off along with the gasket and diaphragm. And as you can see here, I just repainted the top of the gas tank because all the paint was just flaking right off, and all there just was, while cleaning it, there was nothing but just bare aluminum. And so it's all repainted now and got the inside all clean. And so without further ado, we'll get started here. Alright, so I have the carburetor here. Before I really start getting on just cleaning off some of this, I already had pre-cleaned it. It still looks just a little bit dirty, but it ain't too bad. It is dirty on the inside too. So the outside of the carburetor is a bit dirty, but that doesn't really matter. And just before I just get right to it, I'm gonna remove this primer bulb. So what you do, there's a tab here on one side and then another one on the other side. So what we need to do is we need to just push on those tabs. Okay, I got that one off. Now I'll just try to concentrate on the other side right here. Because I think I'm gonna also replace this primer bulb. It's not cracked though, but it just gets your fingers all dirty when you do push on it. So I'll try and get this clip off if I can without doing any damage on the carburetor. Okay, hopefully if I have them off good enough where I can be able to just simply pull this primer bulb out. It's probably going to break, which that's okay because I do have a brand new bulb. Sometimes you kind of do want to just twist it around a little bit and then pull, and there we go. And actually I didn't really do no damage to it. Now if I can just try to pull this clip out. Should be a lot easier for it to come out now. Come on. So you can see the reason on why I wanted to go ahead and just pull that primer bulb out is just try and clean all of this from inside, because they do tend to get dirty. So let me try and get this clip off. Alright, so now I got the little clip off. So now I'll just get all this cleaned out. And also while you're at it, you can just pull this spring out. Simply pull it right out. Then now you can just spray carb cleaner all in here, and also from where the primer bulb is. And I don't have any carb cleaner, so instead I'm just going to use some seafoam deep creep, and I don't have very much of this either, so hopefully I'll have enough just to do all of this with it. It works just as well as carb cleaner. Okay, now we'll just spray all of this real good. You can even spray down in from where the jet hole is, which I had already done that before, and it is clean. Yep, I'm fixing to run out. And also down from where this little this filter screen, sometimes they do tend to clog up sometimes, but this one, it's all clean. Spray in there. Also, let's get all inside here. And then afterwards, we'll use compressed air, just blow it all out. Okay. Just spray all this up really good. And that pretty much does it. I'm out of deep creep. So hopefully this will be good enough. And while it's still all wet, I usually like to do is sometimes in some of the areas where it's hard to try and clean at, I'll use a shop towel here, and I'll just put it down in here in some areas of the carburetor that's hard to clean, and I'll take a screwdriver, kind of just do all this, and it will get all of the dirt out. And you can see it's looking a lot cleaner. What you can also do, you can put this in a little container, fill it up with either some carburetor cleaner or gasoline. Or if you have an ultrasonic cleaner, which a lot of people don't have ultrasonic cleaners, which I hear they work really well. It cleans them up real well. So I think right now I got them just about as clean as I could. Now I'll get over here at the base from where the primer is. It's kind of hard to do this now with the wind blowing. That's looking a lot cleaner now. So now just for the rest of all this, I'll just use compressed air. And it looks almost as good as new. Looks good all around here, and also from where the primer goes, and also from in there too. It's all nice and clean too. And so I'm got here as a diaphragm kit. The part number on this diaphragm kit is 5083. This consists of with a gasket, diaphragm, and also a spring and a fuel filter. This cost about $5 at Lowe's. Now you can just buy a kit that would have just the gasket and diaphragm, which they're usually a bit cheaper. And so yeah, and so without further ado, we'll get this all onto the carburetor. And before you start doing all of this, I really would recommend that you actually wash your hands. Have your hands all clean, just so that way you won't contaminate all the stuff on the carburetor. And also, make sure that this right here, from where you put the carburetor onto the gas tank, make sure that this is clean too. Right there, that's just some rust stains, but it's all clean. But you want to make sure that's all clean first before you start putting this all together. So the first thing I'm going to put on is the spring, which it goes right here. So to put it on, you might want to twist it to help it get down in there. Get it down as far as you can, which in that case it's all good. And then now we'll take our fuel filter, and it goes right into here. Alright, just push it down in there and it just stays on there snug. And that's on. And so now for the gasket and diaphragms. Now there are two ways you can put on both your gasket and diaphragm. Now if you decide to put the hardware onto the carburetor, first what you would want to do is put the gasket on first and then put your diaphragm on. So in this case I'm going to just do all that. So make sure you got them lined up that they should. Alright, they are. So like I said, if you're going to do it this way, put your gasket on first and then your diaphragm. Okay. I think I don't have it in there right. Oop. There we go. So now they're in. So now the critical part is getting them all into the gas tank. Now this little pipe here on the carburetor has to go into this hole right there and just get it all lined up. So now another critical part is that you want to get the gasket and diaphragms, the holes, all lined up together before you start putting in the screws, because otherwise you can do some damage on the gasket and diaphragm, in which that can cause an air leak and your machine just won't run right. What you can use is a small screwdriver to be able to push it in there, which this one here, it's too big. You can just a screwdriver is about almost the same diameter of this hole here to get it all lined up really well, and that will really help. And then you just get your 5 screws and then just tighten them up. So you just do it just pretty much just like that. Have a screwdriver about this small. Okay, that's not lined up right there. Alright, we're lined up right there. Yeah, so this is very important that you do this. Alright. So it looks like we're perfectly lined up, so I'll get the screws and tighten them up. So once you got the screws just partly on, what you want to do is just snug them. Kind of get them snugged here, and then start tightening them up, and tighten them up evenly. Do them evenly. So you can get started on one, do it in a crisscross pattern. So I'm just getting this one's a bit snug, and then now I will work on this one here. That one's just snugged a little bit, and then I'll do this one back here. And then that one over there. I know you can't quite see it that well, because you want to make sure these are on evenly. By doing it in a crisscross pattern, that ensures it's on nice and evenly, just that way to prevent any air leaks, or else your machine just won't run right. And then now you can work on getting them all tightened up. Okay, these two are tight. I'll work on this one. Don't over tighten these, because you can strip the threads very easily. All right, I think we're good here. So now finally I'll put the primer bulb on. Okay, so I got my new primer bulb right here. So when you put it on, you want to make sure it has to be like this. And the part number for the primer bulb is Briggs & Stratton part number 694394. Alright, so I got a 17mm socket, and I just put the primer bulb from in it. I find that this is the easy way to actually put the primer back in, the way that Donny Boy 73 does it. So you want to just push it in, and you want these tabs here to get on these on both sides, which that way it ensures that you have the primer bulb on. And so you just basically simply push it in, and just keep pushing until you hear those tabs click. They should just click right in once you push this in far enough. Okay. Alright, so I've pushed this in until I heard the tabs click, and that I did. So once you've heard them click, go ahead and just pull your socket out, and your primer bulb is installed. So that's very easy. So now this thing is pretty much just ready to be put back on the machine, but I don't have all my parts yet, so that will have to wait in another video until I get the parts. And so stay tuned for part 2.